cents of property in her name, all brought from her own money. And the husband, because there was this instance where she had an arranged relationship, but she somehow confessed to her husband that this happened, and the husband said, for the sake of the children, they started staying together, but they moved off from their place. But the fact is, because she had confessed, from that day onwards, she was really miserably treated. Miserably because no clothes, no food, nothing. But she took all that as a punishment and she said, I have done a mistake, so I have to bear this. So she was like, adjusting to that particular situation. She was a lady who was working abroad. She had made money enough to. She had made that money enough to conduct her own marriage. She had no support from her parents because they were also poor. So she was the one who spent the money, and the marriage had happened abroad, and they had come back, and she had saved the money, and her husband was not so financially well off at that point of time, and she had used her money also, and this land was bought, and this was bought at a time when they were both happily living together. After this instance, they shift to this place, and she is like totally treated worse than a servant. After 4-5 years, this is the situation. She's reconciled to the situation. What the husband and the children do is that what they do is, just one fine day, they take away all her documents, they take away her, they just leave her bare minimum clothes, they stay in a rental accommodation, the daughter and the son both go off, leaving her there. 1 month house rent is paid, so she can stay there for 1 month and they just disappear. She doesn't have anything in her hand. No money, nothing. Like 2-3 bangles she would have, and 1 gold chain, and 2-3 saris they would have left for her. She calls up her daughter. The daughter does not pick up the phone. The son does not pick up the phone. Husband, she doesn't have the husband's phone number. She later comes to know that her daughter has got married. Okay, this is the thing. And she is supposed to have 50 cents of property in her name inside the village. She somehow reaches legal service authority, and there's no way to contact. She tries approaching through relatives and all. The husband is totally not willing to talk to her, nothing. And she doesn't know what to do. So we tell her, okay, you have so much of property. She doesn't have the original deeds also with her. She manages to sell that property by getting the duplicate original deeds, and that also because we had suggested, okay, you can apply certain way. She gets everything, all those things done. She sells the property. And there's an agreement to sell the property. She's getting almost 1 crore for that property. Now, a lady because there was no original title deed, what the other buyer did was he put a newspaper advertisement saying that I'm selling this property, but the original deeds are lost. So, if anyone has an objection, please come. The husband comes to know, he comes. He files a petition to stay the same. The entire property is in her name. There is a clear title, records are also in her name, and the husband has come and put a stay on that sale. He has come into the light only because she sold the property, and the husband, the buyer had put a advertisement saying that this property. Otherwise, he would not even have known. They wanted that he would just quietly go off, and the property, once she dies, the property will anyway come to him and the children. So, that way they would have managed it. So, everything what she had earned, she had saved was used in the property. Everything what, I mean, like, this will not be called as dowry because there was no giving and taking of dowry, but it is her amount, her investment, her saving. That was totally. The court has no. The case is still pending. They gave an injunction. They gave a stay for the same purpose, saying that they stayed the saying that this property has been brought from his earnings. From his earnings. Let's start on his allegations. Yeah. So this was the case. I mean, I'm just saying that this is the kind of similar situations what women face. And when we talk about dowry, gold, money, there's no physical things in her name as such. Only the property, the money amount that we get in cash, it is not in check. So we always tell people, there has to be some record of the amount. And you have in SHGP and all, in the thing, it make a list of the articles which are given, the amount which is given. And even in the Nikhanama, there is a record of the amount which was given as gift to the amount which was given as gift to the group family. So these are minor records, but these records also can be manipulated because of the gender difference. Or you might just say, okay, forget it and things like that. So somehow, to conclude, I would say that a lot of this dowry issue depends upon dowry. If we are dealing it in court, the lot of the attitudinal barrier is the most important barrier which we face while dealing with the legal system. And then second comes the legal lacunas which are already there. Thank you so much.
इस तरह की मुश्किलें हमें आती हैं. काफी बार तो यही होता है कि हमको, जैसे मेरी भी एक मेरा एक्सपीरियंस है कि काफी बार मुझे खुद ही उस औरत को ये कहना पड़ता है कि आपके हक का हनन हुआ है और आपको जरूर लड़ना चाहिए, पर ये बात ध्यान रखिएगा कि बहुत समय लगेगा. तो ये आप डिसाइड करिए कि आपको एक्चुअली पूरी लड़ाई लड़नी है या सोच लीजिए अगर हम कुछ कोशिश करके इसको सेटल भी कर सकते हैं या क्या कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि हर एक के बस की ये बात नहीं होती कि इतना समय लगाया जाए. अब आगे बढ़ते हुए अब हम वो सूत्र स्टार्ट करेंगे जहाँ पे हम हर क्षेत्र से ये देखेंगे कि ये जो कानून है, स्पेशली जो डाउरी प्रोहिबिशन एक्ट है और उसके साथ जो रिलेटेड कानून हम इस्तेमाल करने की कोशिश करते हैं या करते हैं, उनका किस तरह का हमारा एक्सपीरियंस रहा है हर क्षेत्र में. और इसको देखते हुए हम जो 2-3 मुद्दे हैं जिस पे हम फोकस करेंगे वो ये है कि एक तो आप लोगों के क्षेत्र में कोई डेटा भी अवेलेबल है या नहीं कि डाउरी प्रोहिबिशन एक्ट कितना इस्तेमाल किया जाता है. अगर कोई नंबर्स हैं कुछ इस तरह से आपको पता है या कोई आपके पास ये आंकड़े हैं जो आपने कहीं से पता की है, तो डेफिनेटली उसके बारे में हम बात करेंगे. ये बात भी एक. दूसरा हुआ कि जो डाउरी प्रोहिबिशन एक्ट का इम्प्लीमेंटेशन है उसका क्या स्टेटस है, क्या चल रहा है. डाउरी प्रोहिबिशन ऑफिसर्स अपॉइंट हुए हैं या नहीं, इसके तहत जो भी चीजें, अगर कोई ऑर्डर होता है तो वो आया है या नहीं, लिस्ट बनती है तो कहीं डिस्प्ले होती है या नहीं, ये सब जो चीजें हैं जो डाउरी प्रोहिबिशन एक्ट के अंदर लिखी गई हैं, क्या उनके बारे में क्या है हमारा एक्सपीरियंस हमारे अपने क्षेत्र में. फिर जो डाउरी प्रोहिबिशन एक्ट है और उसके साथ जो हमारे स्टेक होल्डर्स, जैसे कि क्राइम अगेंस्ट वुमेन सेल है कई जगह पे, महिला थाने हैं कई जगह पे, तो उनकी क्या सोच है डाउरी प्रोहिबिशन एक्ट के चलते. क्या वो उसको इजीली डीपी एक्ट को लगाते हैं जब भी कोई कंप्लेंट या FIR आती है, या सिर्फ सीधा, जैसे कीर्ति जी ने भी बताया था कि सीधा हर बात आके 498 पे आके रुक जाती है, उसके अलावा और कोई चीज आगे नहीं बढ़ती. तो ये भी एक थोड़ी क्लैरिटी अगर हमें हर क्षेत्र से आए. और फिर थानों से निकल के हम कोर्ट्स की तरफ जब जाते हैं तो कोर्ट्स का क्या स्पेसिफिक एक्सपीरियंस है आपका, क्या उदाहरण है आपके क्षेत्र से. और जो बाकी के कानून है IPC के अंदर, अब जो डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस एक्ट है, फैमिली कोर्ट एक्ट है, तो क्या हम ये हमारा क्या एक्सपीरियंस है अपने कोऑर्डिनेशन है या हर चीज अपनी अलग चल रही है? तो इस सत्र के लिए मैं इन्वाइट करूंगी गौरी जी को, जो इसको चेयर करेंगी। और इसमें हमने जिस तरह से एजेंडा में लिखा हुआ है कि हम हर क्षेत्र से देखेंगे, तो हम पहले नॉर्थ से स्टार्ट करेंगे। तो मैं बुलाऊंगी गरिमा को, महिला सामाजिक उत्तर प्रदेश से, और अवधेश जी।
जहां तक मेरी समझ है, हमने डाउरी डेथ्स के खिलाफ कैंपेन की। नारी आंदोलन भी कभी डाउरी के खिलाफ कैंपेन नहीं किया। क्या आप सहमत हो इससे? है ना? हम सिर्फ ये ना कहे कि जजेस डाउरी को नहीं लिया, हम भी, हमारे गुस्सा था कि औरतों को मारा जा रहा है। So we have also never addressed giving and taking of dowry. कानून की तो बात छोड़िए। मैं ये भी जानती हूँ कि जिस माँ की एक बेटी दहेज के वजह से कत्ल की गई, उसकी सेकंड बेटी की शादी में उसने दोबारा उसको भी दहेज दिया। ये मैं सत्यरानी चड्डा की बात कर रही हूँ, जिनकी केस 21 साल के बाद सुप्रीम कोर्ट में उनकी जजमेंट हुई। तो दहेज के खिलाफ औरतों ने भी नहीं किया। आई विश वी रिकग्नाइज दैट फैक्ट। बनारस में हमने ये भी सुना कि एक लड़की के दहेज हत्या की गई, उसके दूसरी बहन को उसी परिवार में शादी की। मतलब family also has not protected. So as you began, Sandhya, that it's a very complex issue. It really is a very complex issue. और सिर्फ amendments in a law is not going to change anything. तो एक तो हम इसको सामने रखें। Secondly, ये जो confusion है कि is it a case of dowry giving, taking or dowry violence? In courts, it takes the shape of 498A. और मुझे जो जिस बात से सबसे ज्यादा आज गुस्सा है कि एक PWDV की एक यूनिक कानून बनने के बावजूद लोग आज भी उसको और 498A को दोनों ओवरलैप करके देख रहे हैं। और सबसे ज्यादा ये काम वकील लोग कर रहे हैं कि पुराने पेंडिंग केस को भी उस PWDVA में लाके कभी प्रॉपर्टी का, I'm a lay person, I'm not a lawyer, so if the lawyers think I'm saying something wrong, please don't hesitate to point out. तो अब PWDVA